everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at MicroStrategy today, going over some Bitcoin charts, and we're going to be looking at some indicators as well. So we have our long-term trend line or bottom of this channel. It's been respecting it very well. And we've had our pullbacks with a nice push up higher. We've done that multiple times. Let's see if it plays out again. It looks like it's starting to play out. We will see what happens. But it seems like we like to touch the top of this channel 2 times. Let's see if we touch it a 3rd time here. That would put us about near $1,000. So we'll see what happens. It might even actually push out a little further because this is above price directly. So if we push it out, like when you think about it, these moves have lasted from here to here was actually to the top. So it's going to be 7 to 9 weeks. This one, if we take it from, actually we can take it from here, it's 11 weeks. So we'll just say 8 weeks for a average. We'll take us somewhere in this region. So we'd be anywhere from here, 987 to 1040 on the exact line. But remember, we can always get a blow off top, which seems to happen. We got that first one, second one, and we have the 3rd one here. So that's more than likely to happen, where we get to this region and then we shoot up a little bit further. Maybe we touch the target that we have drawn out and it pulls back a little bit. But overall, things are looking good. We have our close above the levels that we spoke about. We wanted to see a close above this zone here, which we got. Perfect. And on the weekly, we closed above it, which is even better. Now, the resistance coming up is this Fibonacci zone, which we spoke about multiple times already, but I'll pull it out for anybody who hasn't seen. We will pull from here to here. This is a bearish pull. So this is supporting price to the downside. So this is going to be resistance for us currently. So we want to break above 424, get a close, and get that bounce to push up higher. But that's a key level to watch out for. I did say that if we broke 355 in the last video, that we could make it up to about 378, and it looks like we're almost there. I think earlier in pre-market it was at 376 or something like that. So we'll see what happens today. Hopefully it's a nice green day. I would love to see a close inside of this golden zone here. That would be ideal. On the SMAs, we're looking good. We got our cross, the 20 crossing the 50. Very bullish sign. Remember, they're lagging indicators. And we closed above our 20-week SMA, which was a tough level to get through, but price absolutely shot through it like nothing. But that was a key level with this downward sloping trend line and the 20-week SMA above our head, and it is now underneath us, which is perfect. That's what we want to see. And on the daily, we are at the top of the red Bollinger Band. In bull trends, we can hug it, and our pullbacks can start to be to the blue, but I'm not anticipating that yet because the blue is still near $300 exactly. So once we start seeing the blue curl along with the red, then we can start talking about the pullbacks coming to the blue. But I don't see the blue being the pullback target yet. But you know, things are always subject to change. On the weekly, we closed above the blue band on the weekly, which is perfect. That was also where the 20 SMA was, and this downward sloping trend line. So super bullish, and we want to do the same thing, hug the red on the way up. Daily RSI continues to make higher highs and higher lows. It's just slowly creeping up higher, showing an increase in strength. We're trying to get to overbought territory that we've seen here in October and November, and we also saw it here in March 2024. So we'd love to see that, get the MNAV kicking up, get the multiple going, get the multiplier going, and this thing will start skyrocketing. You'll start seeing when the MNAV gets crazy, you'll see some crazy numbers where Bitcoin goes up 2% and MicroStrategy is going up like 8% on the day. So that's going to be fun to see. Hopefully we see it again. That would be ideal. On the weekly, you can see the strength is just rising exponentially, starting to curve upward. So we want to see that continue. And on the MACD, on the daily, very bullish. We broke above the dotted lines. We're showing an increase in volume. The green candles are stair-stepping up, and then we want to see some large moves towards the back end. We don't want to see those yet. We want to see that steady climb for now, and then the last like 3 weeks or 2 weeks of the move, we want to see something like this. And on the weekly, it looks like the blue will not make it to the dotted line, which is perfect. We've seen our white dwindle down, and either this week or the following week, depending on how bullish it is, we will start to see some green candles, and then we want to see something like that, what we just spoke about, the last 2 or 3 weeks being massive green candles. So we can get that blow off top and the MNAV multiple to go crazy. The MNAV currently is at 212, so it's inching its way up. If this is a very bullish week, maybe we're sitting at 2.3 or something like that by the end of the week. We'll see how things play out, of course. And to Bitcoin, very bullish. We got our bounce off of this trend line that we have established since the 2021 highs, both tops combined with the March high, and then this low here in April. Looks like we got a perfect bounce off of it. We broke above it, retested it, and now maybe we're pushing up higher. Hopefully we hit the mid 100s, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see if we get a higher low, or if we never even come back. This was the retest, and we'll push up higher. A key level that we closed on was this level here, above 92,000 we closed. Looks like we almost got a retest. This might count as a retest, honestly, because there's a lot of wick action in here. So this might be the retest that we just got last night. Let's see how it plays out. This might have been the retest right here, the 92.8, or maybe this move here at 91.7. But we'll see what happens. Oh no, never mind. So it would have to be this close here actually, or this wick, 92.7 would have been the retest. We'll see if we do crack 95.9. We have a little bit of price action is a little funny here with all the wicks, but if we do break 97,000, I see us hitting 98.3 roughly in that region. So there's a lot of room for price to run up to, and then the next key level that we want to break is this gray zone here, which is 99.5 to about 98.5. That's the next key level that we want to break. And then when we take a look at global liquidity, spoke about it in yesterday's Bitcoin video, but remember, these moves have been increasing in size. The first move was large. It was a 92% move on Bitcoin. The second move was larger on global liquidity, and that one was 120%. And then this current move is larger than both of those. So let's see if we get more than 120%. Maybe we get 140, 150%. We'll see how things go. Of course, these are just, speculative ideas, but based off of global liquidity, let's see what happens. On the daily SMAs, we're looking very good. We got our push above the 200-day SMA, and we're getting a steep curl here on the 20-day that broke above the 50-day. Ideal scenario, we did get our break above the 20-week SMA. Looks like we tried to get a retest. I don't know if this is going to count as a retest, but it was close. And now we're starting to push up higher. We'll see how the day goes. But we did get that push all the way down to the 50-week SMA, and now we got a strong bounce to the upside. So let's see if this thing can continue and we eventually break all-time highs. And on the weekly Bollinger Band, we've got a close. Looks like we tried to get a little retest and we're pushing up higher. Looking like an ideal setup at the moment. And when you overlay the S&P 500, you can see how well Bitcoin did in this time period. The S&P 500 dropped significantly more than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's recovering with the S&P 500, but it didn't fall completely with the S&P 500, which is very shocking. I still think they have high correlation. I think this was just, one of those rare occasions. I wouldn't expect this in the future and from here on out, but it did happen right now, which is very impressive. So that's nice to see. And that's going to help push MicroStrategy's price up higher because it didn't fall as far. So it needs less to push and break all-time highs and push up higher, which is exciting to see. And as you can see, the dollar has an inverse correlation to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the pink line. So whenever we have significant drops in the dollar, Bitcoin rises. And we've had a 12% drop here. Bitcoin ran up. Bitcoin ran up here as the dollar dropped. That was a 13% drop. Bitcoin ran up here as the dollar dropped. That was a 12% drop. And now Bitcoin potentially could be running up with this drop here. And we are currently down 9.5%, 9.6%. We have hit 11%, but let's see if we make it down to 13% or lower, which would take us to like $95, but it could drop even further. And that's going to also increase global liquidity at the same time, which would be super bullish for Bitcoin. Things are looking very bullish. I'm excited to see where things go. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys like to see content like this. Tell your friends about it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.